Hi everybody, I'm Richard. Welcome back to Small Caliber Arms Review. Today I've got another loaner firearm. This is a Smith&Wesson Tactical 45. Shares a lot of similarities, looks kind of like the 1911, a little bit different, a little bit shorter barrel than the full size, probably about commander size. The grip angle is a little bit different than the 1911, but it's got a 3-dot sight system on it. This is one of Smith&Wesson's, I guess, earlier versions of their Performance Center firearms. This was manufactured between 2000 and 2004, somewhere around there. This one I think is a later model because it does come with a spent cartridge from the factory, and it was fired in 2004. It comes in a decent plastic case. Got all your paperwork in the top there. Got the little cutout for the magazine, chamber flag. Not a bad looking firearm. It's really lightweight. Got a stainless steel slide on the top of it and an aluminum alloy frame on it. Kind of a wraparound grip on there. Kind of a hard plastic. Good checkering on it on the sides, the back, and the front also has some serrations in the front there to give you a good grip on it. Now it's a single stack. It is 8-round magazine. It does have a magazine disconnect, so you can't do anything without a magazine in it, unlike the 1911. Last round hold open on it, and a decocker as well as a safety on the slide. So once you've got it cocked, and instead of holding the hammer and pulling the trigger to release it, you can just flip down the ambidextrous safety on it, decocks it, pull it back up, it's ready to go again. Now, being a double action, you don't have to rack the slide to be able to fire it. You can just pull the trigger. So it's got a pretty long, kind of a heavy double action pull on it. Single action's got a lot shorter pull, and it's pretty light, not real heavy. Reset, let's see, pretty short reset on it too, really short reset. That's kind of nice if you're going to do some rapid firing stuff. This is probably a good choice for it because with that short reset, you don't have to let that trigger all the way out, costing you valuable time. Probably a good firearm for some, tactical training. Obviously, it's a tactical 45, but we're going to get this thing cleaned up a little bit. I know that it needs some sight adjustments from what the owner has told me, so we'll get it out there on the range and see what we can do with it. Now, taking down this firearm is, like I said, it's similar to a 1911. You got the same takedown lever there, but a 1911 will have the slide lock notch and then a takedown notch on it. Go ahead and remove the magazine from this. It is empty. Nothing in the chamber there. To take this one down, what you have to do is you have to pull it back until your slide lock notch is right where your takedown lever is. Now, pull that back and kind of hold it, and then on the back side, you've got the button there. Push that up. It'll click a little bit and grab a hold of it and pull it out, and then all you got to do is just let the slide go forward. It comes right off there. This is a really light alloy frame. I mean, it is super light. Once you've got your slide off, you've got your recoil spring and your guide rod in there. This is a solid rod right there. It's pretty nice, pretty heavy duty. It is aluminum. You've got this little machine part right in here that catches right in the, there's a little tiny notch in your barrel for it. Go ahead and pull your barrel, push it forward, pull it up, and wiggle that thing out of there, and you can go ahead and clean it up. Easy access to everything in there. Your lug that locks it into the slide there. Your recoil spring's pretty long. You got everything in here. You can get in there and clean it up. This one's pretty dirty, but we're going to get it cleaned up and get it out there on the range and get it sighted in. Reassembly, same way. Just go ahead and put the barrel back in it, slide it down in there. Your spring back on your guide rod. Push that in the lug on the front there. Hold on to it because it's not a captive unit. Pull it all the way back, and it's got to sit down in that little machined notch in there. Once it's in there, it'll actually hold in there pretty tight. Putting the slide back onto the frame is kind of a pain because you've got your ejector here has to get pushed down. There's another little lever right here that's got to get pushed down, and it's kind of tough to push it in there. But slide everything right back on there. You'll see there's nothing there for it, so you've got to push it down to get it in. Push that down, slide it back a little bit farther, push your other pieces back in there, and slide it right back on. Pull it back till your notch lines up there, and you should be able to take your takedown lever, push it back in there, spin it around a little bit, push it down inside, and you're good to go. Go ahead and function check it, make sure it goes, put your magazine back in, test the function of the trigger. Everything's good to go. Not too bad to take down. A little easier than 1911 because you don't have the barrel bushing on the front there. But again, let's get it out there and give it a try. All right, it's a beautiful day out here on the range today, and we're going to go ahead and get this Smith&Wesson Tactical 45 sighted in. The owner told me that the sights are a little off. Actually, he said they were a lot off, but we're going to see what we can do to get this thing shooting right where it's supposed to be, and then we'll try it out and see how fun it is. Actually, that shot right there is only about 2 inches below where I was aiming at. Left to right, it's a good spot. Let's try a few more shots. All right, there's 4 shots. Let's go up there and take a look at it. Okay, here's the 4 shots I took. There was my first 2 right there. Like I said, only about 2 inches down. Those are 1-inch squares from where I was aiming at the dead center. There was my second 2 shots. It's about, say 1, 2, 3, 4 inches below where I was aiming at, but still they're grouped together real good. I'm going to take a few more shots at one of the other targets, probably this upper left up here, and we'll see how that does. It might have just been operator error. All right, again, it looks like it's shooting about 2 inches low. Now, on this particular firearm, there is no adjustment for elevation on there. Windage is adjusted by, there's a set screw right at the center of the rear sight. You have to loosen that up a little bit and then drift your rear sight from side to side a little bit. I mean, as far as windage, it looks like it's pretty good to me. Those last 2 shots were each about a 1/2 inch on either side of the center line, but the elevation is still about 2 inches low. Now I'm only shooting at 10 yards, 30 feet away, and that's not too bad. We'll take a few rapid fire shots up a little bit closer. All right, I've got 2 rounds left in there from the original 8 that I loaded in the magazine. We're gonna go for the upper right-hand target, take 2 shots in that and see how that does. Right now I'm only about, I don't know, maybe 5 yards away. We'll give it a try. Not too bad. One of the things I did notice about this is being a alloy frame on it, it's pretty light, so you feel a little bit of recoil on it, but it shoots pretty good. That right there is about 3 inches low from the center of it, but again, the windage looks pretty good on it. Of course, you know I got to take a couple shots at the 100-yard target. Now I'm just shooting some Perfecta 45 Auto. These are 230 grain full metal jackets, brass case, non-corrosive boxer primer. We're going to put 8 more rounds in here, and we will give it a try at least a couple times at the 100-yard target. All right, I've got my 8 rounds loaded in the magazine. 230 grain 45 full metal jackets, kind of a heavy, slow round. Probably going to drop quite a bit from here to the 100-yard target, but let's give it a try and see how it does. Nope, there was my 8 shots with the 100-yard target. Didn't hit it. I did see some impacts in the mud up there. It looked like it was hitting quite a bit low in front of the target. The last round I tried to aim high to see if I could hit it. No luck. Again, 4 1/4-inch barrel, 100 yards. All right, here it is, the 45 Tactical Smith&Wesson. This is kind of their predecessor to their Performance series, or I guess an early version of the Performance series handguns. It does not have a ported barrel. It's a lot easier to take down than a 1911. It's a pretty good gun. I like the looks of it. I like the finish of it. I'm not a real big fan of the recoil, the felt recoil in your hands, but it shoots great. And it's a 45. I love 45s. It's just a nice big heavy round, really effective. Probably be a good gun for like, you know, maybe a 3-gun competition or steel challenge or something like that. They quit producing them in 2004, so this is, I believe, the last of that series, of that run anyway, somewhere close to the end of it. Started production in 2000. 8-round magazine on it. Probably going to be a little harder to find extra magazines for it since they're no longer in production, but with like a 1911, geez, you can get those things everywhere. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed taking a look at the Smith&Wesson 4563 TSW, which is Tactical Smith&Wesson. If you could, hit the subscribe button. It's up here somewhere, and check out some of my other videos over here. And thanks for watching Small Caliber Arms Review. Let the mud fall.